Codenja. So today we are solving power of 3 coding, one of the most asked interviewed questions. So here dive into the description. Given an integer n, if it is a power of 3, we need to return true. If it is not, we need to return false. So this is the code that we need. And coming out to the test case, so if n equals to 27, so here 27 is the 3 power 3. It is a power of 3 here, so that we need to return true, otherwise we need to return false. So for that I will first explain with the brute force approach. I will, if n should be less than or equals to 0, immediately I need to return false. So later on, for whether the given number n is divided by 3 or not, first I will check for that. To do that, I will take a while loop here. If n percentile 3 equals to 0, I will enter into the section where I will divide that particular number with 3 until the n should not equals to 1. So here I will explain you with the first test case here. So the number n is 27 and percentage 3, we will get 0, because the remainder we will get here is 0 and the quotient we will get 3. So we need finally found out the remainder. So 0 equals to 0, then we entered into the loop, and finally here the n is n by 3. So 27 by 3 we get the value 9n. So while continuing the iterative approach, so the next n should be 9, and 9 percentile 3 equal to 0, because 9 is divided by 3. So we will again enter into the loop here, and the 9 divided by 3, we will get 3 here as n, and so here n is not equals to anything. So here 3 percentile 3 equals to 0. So we will again enter into the loop, and here the n equals 10 by 3, which is n equals to 3 by 3. We will get the quotient as 1, and here 1 percentile 3 is not equals to 0 here. So we will terminate the loop, and we need to return, if n equals to 1 here, we need to return true, otherwise we need to return false. So this is the brute force approach. Let's run this code first, and so all the test cases we are being passed, and this one is also passed, this one is passed. So this is how we need to approach this problem, and it's a pretty based simple math question. So if you need to solve and the time complexity for this here, it is log n base 3, because the operations that are need being performed with the base 3. So if it is divided by 3, then only we will get the time complexity log n base 3, and here we do not use any particular space to store any value. So the space complexity here is O of 1. So moving on to the next, I will also explain the optimized code here, because it's a basic question. So moving on to the optimized question, I will first reset this problem, and for that one you need to know about some basic signed integer and unsigned integer. Basically, as in the question given that constraints, the n should be in between the unsigned integer, which is minus 2 power 31, and signed integer 2 power 31 minus 1. So we will first we need to return if it is n greater than 0, and what we need to understand, so I will explain you with simply. So first of all, you need to find the value of 2 power 31. So the 2 power 31 gives this value. The given number should not be greater than that. So by using 3 power value, so here 3 power 3 is 27. For 3 power 9, 3 power 20, let's assume that 3 power 20, we will get more than the previous one. So we will need to reduce the power here. So if we reduce this one, this is less than the signed integer. The signed integer starts from 2, and here the 3 power 19 would be starts from 1. So it is better compared to the this one. So if we use this one 3, and if we modulus with the percentage with the n, if we get the value 0, that means if we get the value by using 27, if we get the value 0, we need to return it at true, otherwise we need to return it false. So this one is the optimized approach, and it takes the time complexity of O of 1, and there is no space extra has been used, not has been used, so the space complexity is also of 1. So this is how we need to solve this coding question power of 3, and this is one of the most asked interviewed questions, so keep on practicing these type of questions. So